Welcome back to Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy. Our heroes are just starting their 4th year at the greatest institute of magical learning in the Four Kingdoms. And aside from choosing their classes, a much more dire, a much more important decision lies ahead of them. Who, in a few months' time, will they ask to the Green Gala, the school dance? And will any of them even think once about the meta plot this year? Because the school dance is going to completely consume all of their schemes and such, except for the Mordain. I know Arianna's not going to forget about that.
No,
You gotta deal them in the corner behind the benches, like, yo.
you want to make your gala really fun?
Hey, kid, I could make your gala 10 times more fun. Just sniff this.
We put the green in Green Gala.
Oh no.
Demonetized.
If it isn't Lady Green.
Speaking of, can I release a rumor before my class is done?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, remember that time can pass like weeks at a time as needed. So we're in flexible time right now. What are you trying to do?
Okay, the rumor is that Garnet is looking for a date for the Green Gala.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know who it should be, but the most eligible people are Kraius and Athalor.
Oh no!
You are a shit stirrer.
And
you know
and she will only accept if the promposal is extravagant and a lot of effort in, and it's definitely a public show.
How does Garnet feel about musical numbers?
That's not part of the rumor. Roll. Roll perception or persuasion or deception to spread this rumor. And just do that. But keep in mind that you have inspiration for Gaslight Gatekeep Garnet.
Yay! Don't need it.
You don't need it.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. Yay!
Okay. All right.
That's what GG stands for.
Your past efforts in the previous year to establish yourself as the popular girl easily lend credence to this rumor, which spreads throughout the student body. All right.
You have to be good at dancing.
I guess for entirely NPC classroom that Athalor has are all very easily influenced by this rumor.
Hey, Garnet's got incredible.
Able to roll to resist.
Well, saving throw versus rumor. All right. Let's check in once with each person. First off, Alyxander, you get a nice gala accessory thanks to the beneficence of chat.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
Which is particularly handy because you don't have somebody who's going to make a nice uniform for you. Aside from his classes, has he given any thought to preparing for the gala? Is it on his mind?
Yeah, so honestly, Alex is like going back and forth. As the weeks go by, he's less concerned about just being paranoid about the state of things with the group and stuff. And is thinking about like, how much effort do I want to put in? I still want to, really excel in studies, and if I'm going to do it any year, this is the year to do it. But is like, you know what? Things with Garnet still might be a little weird, and that was like primary study partner, so he's gonna try to look for other people, perhaps in his Draconic Studies class, who are like really trying to excel, like try to make some friends with the smarter kids of the class.
Okay.
And maybe through there see what's up. Like he's not super concerned about the Green Gala, but it's like we'll go along with it and see what happens kind of thing.
Okay. Roll for me a persuasion check representing your efforts to make friends, unless you have something else in mind, some other application you'd like to deploy here.
I mean, Alex, deception is better, but
I said persuasion, right?
Yeah. But
every good friendship is based on lies.
True. No. All right. Yeah, we'll go with the persuasion. 24.
24. Ooh. Dang. Okay. All right. Let's flesh out the student body a little bit, shall we?
Sure.
It's time to roll some characters.
Roll 1d100.
All right.
Say hello to Jeremiah Bigglesworth.
88.
Ooh. All right, and give me 3d6.
3d6. 2, 2, and a 5 for 9.
Yep, a 9. Okay. Roll 1d100.
Another 1d100.
Single digit IQ, baby. We made it.
Oh,
Top
no.
10.
4.
Okay. And give me another d100.
All right.
Is there like a bald number?
There is a result that is bald.
Oh my god.
76.
That
Please
is
tell
something
the
that can
bald
theoretically
man.
happen.
Please tell me it's 100 for the 2 eggs. Or 0.
All right. Now we will
The
roll
DM
for
won't remember
bald.
that.
Roll 1d20.
What?
Is that it? Is that it?
Natural 1. Oh, congratulations. You've got yourself like a cobalt or something as your best friend. I'm coming too, Alex.
Beautiful.
I'll dance with you.
You have to be smart.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Give me 2 more d20 rolls back to back.
Oh god.
All right, I'll just do 2d20 double 17s.
Generating a fucking enigma code over here.
Highly unlikely. Okay.
I'm so curious what this is all forming into.
This is a very esoteric look behind the process when I'm like, I need a bunch of people right now. Ga, 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 ga. Man, randomness is really just like a great creative seed, you know?
Mhm.
You can create some really cool stuff. Okay. 1d8 please.
1d8, 2.
2.
And a vowel,
Oh!
please, Alex.
Oh, I know who this person's going to be. Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
I hear some metaverse tying in. There's some threads right now in old Jason's mind.
Give me a d6.
Wheels turning.
2.
Metaverse is
2.
expanding.
Okay. Another d6.
And then Brooke.
A 5.
And one more d6, please.
What's a henna?
5. Apparently I'm only rolling 2s or 5s for my d6s.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we only have one more thing. Never mind. Chat's done it. Hennon
Yeah.
Brooke.
Thank you, Lightfoot. Very nice.
All right. So you're trying to make friends with the serious students, right? People who are smart, people who are on their game, people who are focused. Well, there is a half-orc in your class.
Okay. Okay.
Magic school. Okay.
Who
All right.
wears bracelets and necklaces primarily made of silver and has always been extremely studious all the years that he's lived here. I'm going to go with Hen and Brooke using he, him pronouns. Has been extremely studious the entire time. Always wears really nice slippers and has several different pairs of really nice slippers. Like, we're talking silks and occasionally leathers and stuff like that. And spectacles, silver spectacles. Not huge, like massive, but kind of small, almost half moon, like reading, you know, only half use. And Hennon has not had any electives with you so far, and doesn't seem to mind. Isn't socially awkward, but is very academically rigorous. One of those people who's gunning for valedictorian at the end. You know how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
And is taking Draconic studies with you, but is not fluent in Draconic. And so let's say that the way that the two of you start to bond is going over draconic conjugations and such. You've proven to be really good at them. You've proven to have an innate knack for the runes, for the language, and for the actual speaking of it. And so while there are a bunch of people who are from various dragon tribes of Okarthal who they're all fluent, they all pick it up immediately, you're not fluent. You're not from there, and neither is Henan. And so the two of you sort of end up inevitably drawn together to the same place, to the same group, and you end up studying together a lot. And another thing that you notice about Henan is that he always is just carrying a stack of books on a wide variety of topics with him. And he cycles through them pretty quickly, a voracious reader, and it's not always things that are directly applicable to what you're immediately studying, or even to anything related to topics being taught. A lot of books about birds.
I think Alex would probably ask at some point, like, what's Henan, seem to notice you have a lot of reading not directly related to class material. Is just your hobbies or something more to it?
I'd love to read every single book in this place before I die. I'll die first. There's a lot of books here.
There are a lot of books, yes.
But it's still worth trying.
But why these first?
Easy to check out, things I've already read up on, things I didn't have back at home. Things somebody just, turned in and it was on the cart and they hadn't actually sorted it back yet, so I figured I'd snag it out and that way it would be registered under somebody else's name instead of mine, so I can keep it out for a little bit longer, not pick up any late fees.
Efficiency, fair enough. All right.
He doesn't ask a whole lot of questions about you, not at first. The kind of person who, I'm not going to say he's bad at hanging out, but very, very purpose-driven, very focused, always looking to be like, what are we talking about? Not super great. Like, he just gave you an answer to your question, right? He gave you an answer, but he doesn't always reciprocate. And except to ask another question about this draconic word, or the difference in the dialect between the Vudazon tribe and the Kanar tribe. Very objective focused. But as you go on in this class, he seems eager to work with you, eager to study with you, a good conversationalist, as long as there's a topic for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this kind of relationship actually ends up being like, maybe not necessarily what Alex was looking for, but what he's like pretty comfortable with, given his like priority on studies and stuff. So it's probably pretty okay with it.
Okay. One more for the road. Give me a D6 roll.
Sure. 3.
Okay. He is not super muscular. He's not like, incredibly strong, but he's sturdy as hell. He kind of towers over a lot of people in there. He's got a very broad frame, visibly takes up space, and has a lot of presence to him wherever he goes. He's a sorcerer, actually. He's not a wizard, even though he has this intense academic rigor. He casts from his charisma, and he definitely has this sense of focus and purpose and quiet confidence that hasn't made him a ton of friends, but has earned him respect.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. New friend get.
Paul.
Athalor, let's check in with you. Oh, and also we've now established that while Alyxander has been making new friends and contacts and stuff, he hasn't been super focused on his garb yet, on who he's asking, what he's wearing. Do remember, Chad has given you a fancy accessory for your costume. Think about what that might be. You don't have to create it. You could discover it. It could be a gift, a mystery gift of some kind. But think about what that might be.
Okay.
It could be something that before he even has an idea for an outfit, this flashy piece comes into his life and an outfit could spawn itself from around that.
Falls out of one of Henen's slippers. Aha!
Eureka!
Useless human trinket here for you.
Athalor, artifice makes a lot of sense to you. In a way, your people are artificers. They create magical items and spells and sell them to mortals. So this is something that's very culturally inherent to what you do. It ties into the sculpting that you do. A lot of times your father, when he talked about the gyre, he talked about it in a way that was like almost like a potter, molding and sculpting these spinning arcane forces. So this is something that you're very inherently good at. And I'm not calling for skill checks yet because we're still so early in the school year, but you definitely lend yourself well to it. Is that Athalor's focus? And is he giving any thought to the Green Gala?
I've got crafted in my veins, gnomes. I think Athalor isn't overly concerned with who he's asking at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's aware of the rumors with this many NPCs who can't say anything through about rumor veracity. It's definitely pushing through. And I think that Athalor is expanding his social circle a little bit to like try and follow those rumors. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Or less accusatory. I don't know what Athalor's reputation is like amongst his peers at the moment, as much as it is somewhat long-winded with the staff. I think that Athalor's first port of call upon hearing about the Green Gala needing green robes he's writing Mum. It's like, Mum, you make good shit. Let's get our brains together.
All right. Is he asking for anything specific? Any parameters? He's just saying, help, I don't know what to wear.
I think that Athalor kind of notes the kind of trim that IOTH wears.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of infers that it's like a status symbol within the academy.
Mm-hmm.
And that maybe a flash of that might be quite enthralling within the cultural context of IOTH Academy.
Okay. All right. And no other parameters to it?
Not particularly. He might ask. Well, it would be very subtle because they disapprove. But like, if they could weave like maybe like a armored pauldron onto it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying like maybe some metalwork would be cool, Mum. I don't know. You're the expert here. I know you guys don't really approve.
All right. Well,
Hey, metal's all the rage at the moment.
The letter that you get back is effusive. They have been doing a great deal of business. They are very prosperous right now, selling to the priest kings, and they're funding their various exploits that they're up to these days. So they can easily accommodate something in that style. And of course, regardless of what they approve or disapprove of, it would not befit the son of their family to show up at any social event in anything less than something jaw-dropping. She writes a whole bunch of her ideas, and she includes some sketches, and things sort of get into the margins. Like, it starts out as a letter, and then it ends up being like a piece of, as she's trying to like explain it. Yeah. It's the written equivalent of somebody talking over themselves as they try and interrupting their own train of thought as they try to explain something to you.
Mm-hmm.
But things are in the works.
Nice.
Also, send me your latest measurements. You surely have grown by now. All right. Is anything else on Athalor's mind? What do you think Athalor's reputation would be? Because here's the thing. Kraius has a posse, and they may not be the most influential, but they're not all just geeks like me. You know, some of them are folks in not in high places, but like he's got sort of a wide net. He's got his own weird sort of charisma to him. Or at least people have figured out that he's a teacher's pet and he's worth keeping around. So there is a version of Athalor out there who is a notorious violent bully.
I feel like that would definitely, it would not be instantly dissuaded because Athalor's got quite a forceful personality. Like being a sorcerer, his charisma is super high, like intimidation and performance are like the main ability checks that he has.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like Athalor does much consciously to dispel this. And I suppose the interpretation of it would depend on how privy they are to Kraius' warbling.
I guess the closer they are to Kraius' social circle, the more they are to see you as dangerous or, you know, brutish. But if they're just tangentially aware, Athalor is the bad boy of the 4th years in the lodge. He has this reputation for being like, he's always, you know, at the gym, in the dueling arena. He's always training his combat magic. He once almost drowned a kid. And depending on who you ask, that's a good thing or a bad thing. So he without even intending it, he has this. Roll an insight check for me.
Bam.
Yeah, he's not very aware of this.
Yeah,
sounds right. That sounds right.
He's kind of
He
oblivious to
does.
this.
Athalor spent a lot of his childhood just like nose deep in books, so it's not like he reads social cues like a god.
It's hilarious because you and Kraius totally grew up on the same stories. Like 100% grew up on the same stories. In an alternate reality, the two of you could have been friends.
No way.
But yeah, people have this image of Athalor as either being like a bully or the bad boy, when he's mostly just going about his own business, doing his own thing. Is there anything else that you want to add or focus on before we move on to check in on Garnet?
I don't know if there's anyone worth noting in the class for Athalor. Like he'll generally just try and talk to everybody a little bit if they're just like in the 8 square proximal block around him.
Everyone who could possibly flank him.
Exactly. Like got to keep those flanking. Got to have the social grace of protection in the A block, you know. But aside from that, I don't think Athalor's making too much effort. He might decide on a favorite, whoever he hears the rumor from first, to like kind of probe them about it. And how well he gets on with them, I suppose, depends on their proximity to Kraius.
Okay, roll a persuasion check. The outcome of this check will determine whether you are talking with one of Kraius' cronies or with a more neutral party. 12. Okay, this is sort of someone who's heard both versions. Someone who, and they're more curious than anything else. So they've heard this rumor that Garnet, who is, you know, she's super smart and she's super popular, but also aloof and mysterious. And like they've got this whole version of her that's been whipped up because, you know, she's only looking for the most worthy, and whatever it is, it better be this huge extravagant thing. And I heard that it has to be like somebody has to prove their honor in a duel to the death. It wasn't to the death. You know, it wasn't to the death. Look, I'm just saying what I heard. All right.
Well, I mean, last time Kraius and I.
Yeah. But
hey, I want to clear it. He challenged me. I was being peaceful. Kraius? I don't know. He's an angry little man.
Roll a persuasion check. Roll for clout. Okay, a 13 on clout. All right. You're at least adding to the narrative in your own way, right? You're at least moving the needle somewhat. But yeah, everybody assumes that you and Kraius are going to be basically competing to see which one of you takes Garnet to the Green Gala. But there's also this narrative out there that the four of you run around, and obviously somebody's dating somebody, right? Like it's teenagers, it's gossip. The two of you have been seen together at one point in time, so now you're a complete item. That's just logical.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like
I recognize this thought pattern.
Yeah. So there are versions, but also people see Kraius studying with Garnet. So there are people who are just completely convinced that that's the case as well. It's chaos in high school, man. It's just chaos.
Who says I
Not
want
even
to
there
go with
yet.
Garnet?
Ratioed. Ratio his ass.
All right.
Oh, never try to ratio someone with posse.
While I see if there's anybody interesting in your class who's worthy of talking to, Garnet, let's check in with you. Aside from spreading rumors and setting up a there can only be one scenario, what else is Garnet up to?
There could only be one. Probably interested to check in with Master L now after all the classes and stuff. Talk to her about a certain prince of machines. And
Do you tell him about the date?
oh wait, we'll see. We'll see what she sounds like. Yeah, how excited she is to hear about it, you know.
Yeah, Master L now is you get the impression ever since the battle that occurred at the edge of the refugee camp on the outskirts of IOTH Academy last year, the more advanced professors like Master Undermal or Master L now, etc., their duties have changed a little bit. They're all more stressed out. They're all more tired. They're all doing more things. They're all a little bit more wary. Security measures have been increased. Patrols around the edges of the academy have been increased. People are spending more time scrying with crystal balls to look out for potential threats and such. So Master L now is still showing up, isn't ghosting you, but is a little distracted.
Probably
in your
ask her
classes.
if everything's okay. You good? We're on page 3.
Sorry, her phone is ringing. Give her 1 second here. She has to see if this is important. I don't know where my head was. Yes.
Is this Anachronous?
Hi, this is the Machine Prince is calling to ask about your infernal warranty.
Oh no.
Have you been missold PPI by the Infernals?
What? Roll an insight check. She almost says something and then she stops herself.
Sneaky bitch.
8. Yeah, she's probably just tired. It's surely nothing when you bring up the Machine Prince again. No, we're just more duties, more strain, but everything's taken care of. This is probably the safest place in the Four Kingdoms.
You ever wonder what it would be like to meet like the Machine Prince? Do you think they're all evil? Like, are they any good ones? Are they all evil? Would I like get killed on sight? You know, like, what are they like?
Garnet.
What?
I thought
Let's
Myrick
ask him
covered
first.
this. Evil is a banal term. It's a blanket statement that's applied by unintellectual minds based on motives that people do or don't understand. All right? The Infernals, like all entities, have desires. They have objectives. And they have means, they have objectives, and they have what they are and are not willing to do to accomplish those means. So evil, I mean, they desire Anacra for themselves. There's that. A lot of their desires run counter to the well-being of mortals. But you've got to... The power of the shadow transcends all of these things. It's older than that. You've got to break out of that dichotomy entirely.
Well, what if I told you I might have talked to like an infernal the other day?
Garnet?
Just what?
I have specifically warned you that you shouldn't do that, not because they're evil, but because they are extremely dangerous. Why don't you tell me more about this conversation you may or may not have had?
It was fine. It was in a dream. He could have honestly been not real, but the fact that he didn't try to kill me made me think he was real. So it could have been just a dream. But
So if he tried to kill you, it would have been real? Or it would have been fake?
Well, you can't die in the dream world. We both know this is silly. But it's just the fact that he didn't kill me on sight that time. So not evil? Question mark?
An infernal would only kill you if it... Most of them aren't just going to kill you for existing.
Oh.
Each infernal has its own goals and its own cravings, its own hungers. The destroyer craves dominance over all things and would sooner see you kneel than perish. The mirror keeper wants to distort your vision, to pervert your perspective, and to watch that, takes glee in watching that happen, and would sooner lure you into a trap than kill you. They're not just, all mortals must die!
Oh. Okay.
What do they
Speaking of
teach
Merrick,
us?
have you heard from him?
So,
You know,
Master,
he hasn't sent me letters.
Merrick, I have not.
Well, can you send him a letter? Or, like, check on him with your mind or something?
I don't contact Merrick. Merrick contacts me
When does he contact you?
when he sees fit. Which hasn't been for the last few years. It's not like I got a warning that you were on your way to the academy.
True. So you're saying, do you at least know if he's alive?
I don't know for sure, but I find it highly unlikely that anyone has killed Master Merrick.
Okay. Just continues reading.
Oh, no, hold on. What infernal did you talk to? We're not dropping this, Garnet.
Oh no, poor Alex.
He was kind of like shadowy and tall, and handsome, and all dressed in black. I don't remember my dreams sometimes, but something like that.
Roll a deception check, please, Garnet. 19. So you barely remember this dream, but you're sure it was real.
Well, I've dreamt about him before, and he's usually trying to kill me, but then the dream ends. But this time he felt like chatting, and all of my dreams are about people killing me all the time, so this felt kind of real. And it was cold. It felt really cold. But yeah, why? Are you concerned? I don't think he's gonna come back. I told him off. Don't worry.
You told him off.
Yeah, I told him to get out of my dream. What would you say to him?
I would hang amethyst over my bed and draw a silver circle around where I sleep so it didn't happen again. Who told you can't die in your dreams?
Well, I die all the time in my dreams, and I'm still here, I think.
Okay.
Is there a special way of dying that I should know about?
I'm not an expert in oneiromancy. Dream is called the Fifth Kingdom. It's not supposed to exist. It wasn't created by the sovereigns. It emerged spontaneously from the minds of mortals. It's very poorly understood. It is a very specialized form of magic. But I can tell you this. Your own mind can't kill you in dream, but someone else's can. The very careful with these things. If you want to learn more about this, the greatest practitioners of oniromancy are the Dokalfar. And I haven't read their teachings.
Well, is there a tutor that has here?
At this school, I don't know if we have an oniromancer. Like I said, extremely obscure. Very poorly understood.
Any books around here?
I'll see what I can find in the higher libraries. I doubt you'll find anything at the Great Hall. I'll take a look around. I'll do some poking.
Okay, so she kind of writes like in the air, don't talk to infernal strangers. Gotcha.
Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
Because just because they're not going to kill you on sight, whatever they have planned could be worse. Could be much worse. You asked me once about contacting Infernals.
Uh-huh.
And the only reason to do that is if you are looking for their power and if there's some way that their goals and yours align, because they will gladly give you that power as long as it advances their own cause. And many of them will discard you along the way.
So they will kill me.
Or worse.
Worse than dying.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't talk to infernals that want to kill you. Gotcha.
I would just leave it at don't talk to Infernals until you've done a lot more studying. Here you are trying to call them up and you barely know the first thing about them. You need to...
Hey, he rang up my doorbell. I didn't ask for any of this. He showed up.
You asked me last year. I don't have the mind of a goldfish. You've asked this question before. If you are going to delve into infernal magic, don't let anyone know. They're not exactly popular around here. And make sure you know what they want before you talk to them, because you better have something that they want.
Yeah. So I opened the book. Which dress do you like?
The gala. Look, it's midnight. And we have to practice the 13th form of the Forbidden Covenant of Shadow Magic. Can we focus here, please?
Okay.
All right. As I was saying, and she goes back into the mental exercises and emptiness that you have to invoke in order to channel higher powers of shadow magic. Arianna, has Arianna given any thought to the gala, her homework? Where's her mind right now? Where's her focus?
It's tough because she has like a bunch of these side projects that she's obviously thinking about. She wants to check in on her Mordain plans, see how they're doing. Garnet gave her a bunch of obsidian to try to like put into some sort of accessory for the gala. So I feel like that's kind of the only thing about the Green Gala Arianna is actually kind of thinking of. And then also she's like, ooh, I get to make like boutonnieres and corsages for like all my friends. I don't know if I get one, but I'm not worried about that right now. Like she's not somebody that I feel like worries too much about how other people perceive her. Like I think she would be in touch with kind of how people interact with her, but not necessarily like looking for validation in a way, because she already has her very close group of friends. So also, after how last year went with school studies, I do feel like she'd be hitting the books a little bit harder this year, especially knowing that the end of the year exam is going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
She doesn't want to get held back.
Oh, no.
That's fair.
Back to the grove you go.
Oh, bad. Yeah. It literally just kicked me out of the Great Hall. Like, you go into the grotto.
Down. All right. So your attention is sort of split between schoolwork and your Mordain Vapor project and thinking about creative ideas for your friends, right? Have you started working on the obsidian piece yet? Do you have an idea for what you're going to make with those 4 pieces?
Oh, yeah. Arianna has a very good idea about what she wants to do. She believes that Garnet is the type of person, especially after hearing the rumors that she spread about herself and like the Green Gala and like all these things, that like she might actually really like some sort of like headpiece like some sort of like, like a tiara or like a crown or just something that would really complement whatever it is that she's going to wear. So she is figuring out like how the base design is going to look, how she can kind of cut up the obsidian to really make it sparkle, and what other accent colors she kind of wants to put into it. She's obviously thinking like, well, green's good choice because the Green Gala. But she also has no idea what Garnet is actually wearing. So she's kind of leaving herself some room for flexibility once
Mhm.
she actually figures out what Garnet is going to wear.
What color is Garnet's hair again?
Like a blonde, like light blonde.
All right. Relevant
so
for like dark volcanic glass headpieces, right?
Yeah.
All right. So she's in the early design stages for that. She is spending more time every week with Renobi in her class on elemental studies. She is sneaking off whenever she can to continue to attend, which she has her excuse already. The professor of botany is still sort of like giving her hall pass to go up to the grove to work on her project.
Yay.
Roll for me a herbalism kit check, please, with intelligence.
Boy.
Please don't die again.
Oh,
We're in class.
Natural 20. Wow.
Let's go!
Not
Okay.
dead this time, baby.
Is this the year? On it!
This
Yeah.
is the year. Roll a nature check, please, as well.
No way. This is going to be a nat 1 watch.
Dude, if
Okay.
that was a 20 as well. All right.
You
So
scared me.
Rich!
Jack and the Beanstalk of meth plants.
roll
Goes through the roof.
1d4 plus 1, please. Okay. 3. After so much struggle, adjusting soil, adjusting sunlight, adjusting water, weaving spells into the area, changing the way that it was
Dying.
almost dying.
Having
Finally,
to mentally break a nurse to not die. Pilfering medicine.
Oh, God.
Fun times.
after all this time, the Mordain flower blooms with its thin, almost like light lavender inner petals and this very, very bright center, this beautiful spiral of a water plant that finally opens. And it's got that sort of fuchsia sprinkling along the inside that almost looks like somebody powdered it.
That's so cool.
And you estimate that it will be ready for harvest shortly before the Green Gala. And you'll have 3 doses of it.
I don't know whether I should be
That's
happy
a hot
about
box at
that
dawn.
or yeah, I think as soon as she figures this out, I feel like because Garnet was the one that approached her, she'd be like,
Mhm.
Garnet, oh my god, you're never gonna believe this.
What?
I actually got the Mordain to bloom. It's actually happening.
When can we try it?
It should be ready. Like, wait, what?
We gotta test it, right?
I
So it works?
guess. I
Do
don't
you
know.
know
I
the dose?
haven't gotten that far yet, but
okay.
it should be ready like before the Green Gala.
This is gonna be a fun gala. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cool.
I'm really excited after so many years. So many years. I can't believe it's actually working. And I feel like I got it down to a science now. It should be really easy to replicate. We're good.
It's good for sleep, right?
I don't think so.
The Mordain vapor, when inhaled, causes beautiful hallucinations and actually transcends the mind of the user into dream. It is directly connected to dreams and oniromancy.
How does that work for someone who doesn't sleep?
Well, it's not usually advised, but it works.
Aha.
Your mind doesn't normally go to the dream realm, but it could.
Gotta
I'm a
science it
tourist.
out.
Well, there's my update for you. I'll have more for you in a couple of weeks, but I got some other things I got to focus on. So,
Okay.
well, I'll be back.
Yay!
Cool. That's so exciting.
Yay!
So I know Arianna's been working on this for years, and I don't know if she understands how ridiculous it is that she pulled this off. This is not supposed to work. She's just
Nope.
like, oh, finally, what a pain. But if anybody stumbled across it, they'd be like, what the hell is this doing here? This doesn't grow here.
Do you feel like, because I feel like part of Arianna's personality, like she's obviously getting the hall pass from her botany teacher to like go do this.
I did it.
Do you think she would actually be the type of person to go up to her botany teacher and be like, oh, come here, I gotta show you something.
I leave that in your hands.
Oh no.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
If,
Gotta
if
roll a
so,
1d2.
If so, can we come so that Alex can break them if they
Can
get
we
weird?
watch? Can we
Oh
watch?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Up to you.
Okay.
Well, maybe I
One-
don't want to watch. We got in trouble
One, we
last time.
go as a group. Two, we don't go.
Okay.
Can you even roll a 1d2?
Yeah, /r space 1d2 should work.
What is it? What was that again?
A 2.
We don't go.
Don't go.
We don't go. All
Look,
right.
if
we
it's-
don't get expelled. Oh
So,
darn.
so here's something I do want to say. There is a technique in decision making where you, if you can't decide between two options, you flip a coin. Because the moment the coin goes in the air, if you find yourself hoping for one result over the other, now you know which one you actually wanted.
Oh.
I don't think Arianna actually wanted to do that because that sounds like she would get in a lot of trouble and maybe
Okay.
expelled. But,
Your
you know,
your botany teacher, who hasn't shown up too much, is called Siggy. Sig-Gezig. Yeah, I introduced this character, Sig-Gezig. Most people just call them Siggy.
Sigezig, also Siggy. They're not a form of skier, okay? Like, they're not yogurt.
Dear
I
Lord.
refuse.
Sig is constantly accompanied by ravens. And
Ravens like Mordain.
never seems to
demon
tire or require rest. Tall and spindly with sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, many people liken Sig to a scarecrow, constantly covered in birds and bird droppings.
Right.
Yes.
remember him
So
now.
this is a very imposing, strange figure. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Everything all right, Garnet?
Why doth he not sleep? Huh? What? Why doth he like that?
That's a good question.
I
Why
haven't
don't
met him
feel
yet,
like
so-
sleep?
Okay, a little sussy, but I don't know this, so I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it.
Yeah, none of you took botany or alchemy, so and Sig taught both classes, so
I feel like what Arianna would do is, you know, she thinks about it for a while. She's super proud of what she's done. She has no idea that this is like super difficult to do,
mhm.
but she does have some voice in the back of her head saying that it's not quite ready yet. So she doesn't really want to show anybody.
It's like the
Because,
garden.
like,
It's got to be a
yeah, it's like-
surprise.
It's not finished. It's a surprise. And also, she has no idea how her botany or alchemy teacher would actually respond to what she did. But she does get this idea that she wants to go back and talk to him because she's very curious how the actual harvesting process works. Don't think that's something she has quite figured out yet. She got it to bloom,
Mm-hmm.
but the drying of it and like turning it into something that she can actually like use as a tea, that's not something she's looked into a whole lot yet.
She got a drop in her eye last time, but nearly died. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Alexander, give me a Arcana check just to check in on your studies.
Ooh, use one of those advantages.
Yeah, you can use an inspiration on that for sure.
All right, 14. Okay.
All right, you're doing all right.
Trying to make sure studies go well.
Your new friend Henan, great study buddy. The two of you are working well on that. One class where you do all see each other. You do see each other in your core classes. So
Ooh.
metaphysical education, where you're doing, okay, instead of weightlifting, you're now going to absorb this much magical energy. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. All right, now release it. And no, do not form it into a spell because that's how you blow up the classroom. That class and magical self-defense are both taught in Broxworth Hall, where Athalor has gone off to practice his dueling. So the lot of you do also see each other in your magical self-defense course.
Who's partnering with me?
Are you asking for volunteers? Does Alexander volunteer?
Yeah, I think you would.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be willing to have a go at it. You seem to be proficient, but
Well, vaguely, but I'm not trying to hurt you.
no, not like someone else.
He challenged me.
That is fair.
What does the instructor have us do?
All right. You're going to take your positions on both sides. Now, the goal here is to identify the magical patterns that your attacker is using before they hit you. So, Athalor, you're going to start. I want you to cast not an attack spell, not a harmful spell, a spell.
A spell.
Alexander, you know that your attacker is a mage. You're going to watch their hand motions, use everything that you've learned about magic to identify the energies that are being gathered around him, to identify the spell before it's being cast. Because that's how you're going to defend yourself. Not in this course, but this is the first step, is recognizing magical attack before it comes down towards you. So, Athalor, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Alexander, are you ready?
Yes.
On the count of
Athalor.
3. 1, 2, 3. Alexander, roll an Arcana check, please.
17.
Okay. You are able to recognize immediately that he's using a cantrip and that it is a transmutation cantrip. Do you have the Gust spell yourself?
No.
Okay. With a 17, you are able to identify all of that. If you have any spells that use a reaction, you would then be able to use them in response. That being said, are you casting the Gust on Alexander, or are you casting it on just the air or something nearby, Athalor?
It's just generally like in the space between them, just like sort of on the floor, so it'd be like a little billow.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb! Batman, bye-bye. Get it to the ceiling.
All
Like,
right.
as Athor is casting it, Alexander would just kind of call out like what he
Gust!
figures out from this. Like, it's a transmutation cantrip.
And it takes like 3 seconds to cast a spell. So, Gust. But he's rattling through it, and they're like, all right, good, excellent. Now trade places. Once again, Alexander, you'll cast a spell. Athalor, you will identify it as it's being cast. On 1, 2, 3. All right. With a 13, and you're only attempting to identify a cantrip, it's sort of last minute, Athalor, but you are able to figure out what that spell is just before it goes off. It's a transmutation cantrip. And what minor effect do you manifest with this spell, Alexander?
Making some tremors in the ground.
Okay.
Harmless tremors.
Ominous earthquakey stuff goes on.
Transmutation.
All right. It's good.
I haven't really felt that before, being only from floating cities.
Yes, if you ever feel that something's going wrong. Athalor, roll for me a religion check, please.
Bam, let's hit some religions. Boom.
All
Any
right.
questions in the chat?
Thaumaturgy is generally a divine spell rather than an arcane spell. It's not unheard of for arcane casters to have it, but it is more rare. Keen eyes, if they had some reason to suspect, might begin to wonder what Alexander is, but only if they were already paying attention, only if they were already suspicious, and there are a lot of explanations for what else it could be. So, all right then, Garnet, you're up next.
Oh, Arianna, you gonna be my partner?
Let's do it.
Yay!
You see Kraius
High
doing
five
one
to
of these,
Alex as we exit.
I just
Oh,
adjusting himself. Yep. All right. I'm actually going to have the two of you roll for initiative, and whoever wins is going to be the caster first, just for
boy.
fun.
Oh, my initiative is butt.
Yeah, 7. That is butterific.
You're pretty good at that, Alex.
oh, I'm not on the core
Thank
page
you.
again. Ah.
That's all right.
Likewise.
wait.
Should be top middle on the core page. All right, Arianna, you're going to cast first. Garnet,
Okay.
you're analyzing the arcane energy and also watching the specific motion, the somatic and verbal components to identify this spell.
You're not scorching rim.
Okay,
That would
so
be
while
funny,
this
though.
was actually happening between Alexander and Athalor,
Mhm.
I was literally running through my list of cantrips and spells, and I'm like, I actually have zero idea which ones are not harmful because they all involve fire.
She's like, fireball.
I love that Arianna like gets up there. She's like, "Yeah, I'll totally partner with you," and then she's sitting there like, "Wait a minute."
I will kill you.
Shit. Here we go.
The sweet one who caters to the flower and just the flowers, and everyone loves her, and she's obsessed with food, and all of her spells are flaming, burning death.
I don't think at this point anybody has also seen this either, so she's like probably really terrified.
Like, we haven't
very
really
scared.
noticed since you set the dining table on fire in episode 1.
That's true.
Yeah, she has kept a lot of her magical practice to herself.
More there for emotional support, that's what.
Yeah. I might need some DM help here.
Okay. Scorching Ray and Flame Sphere are both attack spells.
Yep.
You have a few level 1 spells that are not harmful spells at all.
Okay.
Garnet will remember that.
Are
Are you trying to kill me?
I'm really
throw 'em up?
trying not to.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I guess what she would try to use is like fog cloud.
Yeah, fog cloud doesn't hurt anybody. That's a good choice.
Yeah, that seems very benign in nature.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check, please, Garnet.
Da, 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 da.
A bit. Ooh.
Yeah, you easily identifiable. There's a clear gesture that's calling upon air and water elemental energy and combining them and then aerating them through the spell matrix. Super easy to identify.
Am I
It
able
is
to, like,
a-
flap my arms around because I know it's coming. So I'm like, fuck, no, my hair.
All right. Does she actually say what it is, or does she just start flapping her arms?
I just say, oh fuck, and then I do it.
Everyone around goes.
Psychic damage to her.
A rumor is now spreading after you get out of this class that Garnet just dropped an F-bomb in the middle of.
I didn't say fuck. wait, did I say fog?
No, you said fog.
Oh, fog. Yeah.
Oh, fog is right.
Ah, damn it. Fuck.
You've been caught up by teenage hijinks.
Consequences of my actions.
Oh my god.
All right, that's good. Go ahead and trade spots. And on the count of 3, Garnet, again, a non-harmful spell. And Arianna, you're going to identify it from the somatic components, the verbal components, and the spell matrix that she forms around her. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
On 1, 2, 3.
I cast blindness.
On Arianna?
I was like, well, she tried to blind me. So I just
Okay.
Disproportionate response.
The PTSD like starts kicking in where she, kind of got poison in her eyeball and like kind of went.
Oh, yeah, she forgot that. Oh, blind spells. Oh, I know a blind spell.
And that's not harmful.
No.
Arianna, start with a Arcana check. Great.
Blindness.
So
I'm
you know what's coming your way. You don't have any spells that you can use as a reaction, right? I'm pretty sure you don't. I'm pretty sure that you do not.
Can I earth tremor her so she can't aim it my way?
Just set her on fire. Just engage a full duel. Just accidentally.
It is if that is what Arianna would do, and you have inspiration, I would allow that. For 1 point of inspiration. I don't
know if I have it.
Yeah, I don't
That's-
think anyone's handed it out this session.
That's okay.
All right, that's fine. So instead, I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, it's
Oh.
that bad?
Well, I mean, if it fails, she's blinded.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
darkness engulfs your vision.
What has she done?
She blinded me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I pulled a spell.
You
I figured it out.
It's a minute, right?
Yeah, that the spell. I don't know if the spell is. Yeah, the spell's pullable.
Oh.
The spell's pullable. You can end a spell as an action.
Sorry. I thought we were doing blind tests.
All
blind
good.
spells.
All good.
Yours was
At least
better.
I knew
I
it
like
was coming
yours.
before it came.
Yeah, teach me that one. I'll teach.
Sure.
Yeah. Did we
Garnet?
pass?
Favoritism, Alex. If we did that, we'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah, we would.
Garnet.
Uh-huh.
In the future, when we're doing a non-combat spell, try to do something that manifests an external and visible effect and doesn't deprive your training partner of one of their senses.
But she did a fog cloud.
I'm fine.
That was an
fine.
external and manifested effect that we could easily blow away. It wasn't something that directly. Where I'm not upset. I just want to clarify going forward that when we say a non-combat spell, that's what we're referring to. Almost any spell can have application in combat. All right, but just don't. Yeah, do something else next time. An illusion, perhaps, or other
More
effect.
instructions are needed next time. Thank you. I did not.
Is she
didn't
giving
know.
critique? Oh.
I'm good.
Shut up.
It's the Garnet way.
Arianna like leans over to Garnet and she's like, I'm sorry about that, but also I'm not mad at you. Like we're good. We're
Oh,
good.
okay. I thought
Everything is good.
I'll do deafness next time. I thought we would. I thought topic was the blind part.
Yeah, that's my bad. I shouldn't have used that.
Why are those kids laughing at me? I don't get it. This is a level 2 spell. This is cool.
All right, well, that's probably plenty for today. Yeah, we'll let everyone else do their thing. But just to clarify, going forward, what we mean by a combat spell, no homework this time. I know you've got a lot from others. This is going to be a rigorous class, so make sure that you eat a full meal before you come. All right, bye.
Full
Ariana's
meal,
good at
got
that
it.
one.
That's the only thing she heard.
All right. Time marches on. It is rapidly approaching the socially appropriate lead up to the Green Gala for people to be making their overtures, making their invitations. Also, as you sit in your class, one of the other elements of the Green Gala are performances. I mentioned that the teachers were going to give you more instructions as the time got nearer, so this information starts to disseminate throughout. Each of you should be paired off with somebody. You should have somebody that you bring to the gala. Now, I know a lot of you are very anxious about this, but it is perfectly acceptable to come with a friend. There are no traditional ramifications for bringing someone to the gala. All it means is that there's someone who matters to you. This is one of those things that teachers say that nobody pays attention to. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
After the initial opening procession and dances, toasts and blessings to the fallen sovereign of stone, there will be a series of performances. These are usually, we'll have a variety of our greatest illusion teachers to show off what they can do, but students are also invited to submit their ideas for their individual performances. Music, dance, and magic are all welcome. If you'd like your performance to be featured, come talk to us. We'll work something out. Outside of that, Sig will be taking care of decoration this year as usual, going with the green theme.
Who's that?
It'll
I whispered to Arianna.
That's the botanist and alchemist teacher I had.
Mr. Birds.
He had a
Birds.
bunch of birds around him all the time. Ravens, I think.
That's very ominous. Very signs of someone who's possessed by demons. I think.
He's a little standoffish, yeah, but cool. I learned a lot from him.
Oh, okay.
decorations will be taken care of, and then at the very end of the gala is the skylighting, which is it's almost like magical fireworks. Everybody throws their illusion spells, their dancing light spells, etc., up into the ceiling, and so have an idea for what you want to do with that. Arianna, don't burn the place down.
Sphere of flame.
I can't. They wouldn't call me out like that.
They would not. No, that was metagaming. That wasn't fair, and that didn't actually happen.
She's like, I try to keep this a secret.
No, that's completely fair. They would just say that that's at the end of the night. So please start planning this in advance. Time is rapidly approaching. I trust everyone's taking care of this. All right, back to your classes.
I think Alex would seek out Athalor at some point soon after that that whole talk,
Sick.
and just say, Athalor, you have any big plans regarding the gala?
Well, I don't know who I'll bring yet, but I think I
You
know
don't?
what kind of trinket I'll be making.
You don't know who you bring. Surely I guess the rumors, of course. Maybe you're not going to
I know.
win Garnet's affection.
But just between us, I'm looking to see if Kraius makes a dick of himself first.
That way it'll be easier for you, or
Oh, I'm just curious.
right?
Me too. I don't actually say that.
I imagine he'll make something more impressive than me anyway. He seems like an artsy boy.
Does he?
What about you? Who are you? I trust it's not your inner friend who you're bringing. That big orc?
I don't think so. I haven't really just been focused on a lot of studies, I guess. I kind of just thought that I'd wait pretty last minute. Surely there'd be some people that, don't have a date yet, and it'd be easy. Just, go with whoever's looking.
So you're
At that
telling me
point.
you're counting on desperation?
I mean, surely that'll affect some
Damn.
people, right? I mean, that's not. I don't really see this as that big of a thing. I guess.
Come on, Alex, you're an eligible bachelor. You're a handsome guy.
I mean, thanks. I don't really see all the big fuss about this. It doesn't need to be like a. I mean, it's not like this. What's even going to happen after this, right? We just go to the gala with some person, and then people talk about it for a little bit, and then forget about it and move on, right?
Also, do you know what you're going to wear yet?
Not at all. I was actually going to ask you if you had any advice about that.
Well, I imagine there's some kind of market facilities where you could buy some kind of materials. And I'm sure you could petition one of the other students to create something like a little bit more to your style.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. I have some spare gems I could trade, I suppose, for something.
Alex, do you have money?
I have some spare
Damn.
gems that I could trade for something.
Okay.
I mean, do you have some sort of job you do here? Are you just earning income?
I have about 50 gold pieces. I could lend you some if you'd like.
That's too much. It's fine. I'll be able to find something.
Well, do let me know how the shopping goes. And if things go awry, I can certainly help a little.
All right. Appreciated. What if, however, just out of curiosity, Kraius asks Garnet and it actually goes well and she says yes? Then what do you do then?
I'm not too bothered. I mean, the rumor says I want to ask Garnet, but no one asked me if I want to.
Do you want to?
I don't quite know. I feel like she'd be quite... I don't even know if she can dance. That'd be quite embarrassing.
Didn't you take a dancing class a few years back or something like that?
Yes, I can dance quite well, actually.
Oh. That's good. I'm certain that makes you more eligible.
Maybe I'll include that in the proposal. What do you think? I'll bring an itemized list.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have. But is there anyone else that you have your eye on or anything like that? Or
Well, I could always ask Arianna, or there's Renobi. I don't know if they're even interested in getting partners for dance or if they already do. I haven't really talked to anyone about it. I've been kind of busy.
that seems kind of surprising. I would have maybe thought you would have had this kind of figured out. At least, I mean, more than me. And maybe you still do.
Well, I suppose at least I'll be wearing something nice, even if I'm alone.
That's true. Is it like okay to go alone? Is that like I don't really. They said maybe you can bring someone, you have to bring someone, it could be a friend, but like.
No one's going to kick you out. I'll tell you that much. No one's going to kick you out. But your social status may never recover.
Athel, what do you think? What if someone has to go alone?
Well, it might be quite funny, but who knows? Maybe one of us. So perhaps we shouldn't set the stakes too high.
Maybe not. Might just. I mean, you could just.
Surely
not
the girls
go.
would have to ask too, right? They don't want to be taken alone. I'm pretty sure we're about 50-50 in the split.
Yeah, I think so.
Never been to prom before.
It's amazing how few proms you go to as an alpha.
It's true.
Ah,
I guess we'll figure it out as we go.
yeah, there's still some time, but I'll try to get started on my outfit, I suppose.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me know if you need help.
Sure.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but in this matter, it would seem that the men are useless.
And Athalor is also completely tone deaf about what he thinks is offering help, but is also just poor shaming.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you broke.
A couple
You
tips to
have
trade.
money.
And I think on that similar vein, after that conversation, Alex would try to look for some, students who either, he would know can craft stuff and actually try to make some sort of like deal, some sort of trade.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that's what he would do first.
Now, here's a question for you, good sir. It's customary, but not mandatory, for attendees to the gala to draw upon the customs, the fashion, the inspiration of their home culture in their garb, which in your case would be the dragon tribe of Charir.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again,
Oh.
you're not obligated to do that, but if you want to give the impression to reinforce the fiction that you are from that dragon tribe, this would be one way to reinforce that.
Yeah, I think actually Alex would go out of his way to have maybe that like trinket or sort of like accent piece.
Mhm.
Perhaps he would have in one of his draconic studies course. Other people surely have like ties and trinkets, or at least the access on how to get those. So we'd try to either
Mhm.
trade for one or offer. He's pretty good at studies, so like offer a lot of help in class for maybe some sort of like accent trinket.
Okay.
Just so he doesn't
Um,
have one.
The gift of chat, the gift of Bipachu, will be a golden dragon brooch,
Ooh.
a cloak pin.
broken out?
Beautifully.
Drip, drip.
Individual scales are visible on it. Its tail winds around it, almost forming a knot. It's a dragon rampant, so it's sort of up on its hindquarters with its claws out and its breath open. And the pin that closes it's designed to look like fire emitting from the dragon's mouth and pinning back into its tail. It has some red gems, possibly rubies, as its eyes. And it is
Okay.
of impeccable craftsmanship.
Yeah, that's some drip though. That was way better.
Yeah,
than-
that's some drip
The Charir
Hey.
dragon tribe is all about gold.
yeah.
Gold and crimson. That's their thing.
Gold.
Sure.
Gold!
All right. So Alex probably wrote a couple of essays for someone for that one or something.
I'll do your homework for a month, I promise.
Yeah. But, we take those
Thieves' tools remain untouched.
for now.
Okay. And then you have some gems that you said that you could barter with to get something made.
Yeah, Alex has a couple. Still, I believe, 2 onyx gemstones left, and he would try to
Mm-hmm.
commission some sort of like robe for that with some like probably just like some black, gray, and a bit of green, like a green kind of like half cloak that goes
Like a green
across
mantle.
his- yeah, kind of.
Mhm.
It goes like across and down his back, and then some green like down the front, like center strip of it. And some
Okay.
black and gray kind of accent marks as well.
Okay, I think I
Still
see
kind
it.
of warm-hearted thinking about Alex getting his like first taste of looking noble.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for Alex's mental.
Gonna be very puffing out the chest. Like, yes,
Awesome.
I am not poor. Fuck you, Athalor.
Show up, be like, Athalor, you look a little, no, that's fine.
You're looking like you have no money.
All right. We are running down the clock on tonight's episode. So, does anybody have anything that they'd like to raise or do, have their characters say, actions they'd like to take, focus, etc.? Or do you want me to take it from here?
Quick fire questions. With Artifice, can you imbue a item with a spell that you don't know but can research?
Generally speaking, you have to have access to the spell. So, in a sorcerer's case, often what you would do is you would get a scroll of that spell.
Would it be fairly easy to obtain a scroll of a cantrip?
Yes, it would be easy to obtain a cantrip scroll.
Lovely. Sick. Trinket. We're good.
All right,
Letting
what is
go
it?
on
What's he
one.
working on?
So Athal's going to be going down to what is assumedly the market. He's going to be buying some kind of like dark wood, like rosewood or mahogany, to kind of sculpt and chisel into a kind of headband / headpiece thing. And he's going to create a lodging in it for some patterned glass. And he's going to use that glass as an artifice object to house a green flame blade so that it sort of glows green.
Neat. Roll a sculpting tools check. You have that, right?
Yes, sir.
You 22. Excellent.
That's a pretty sick thing.
Roll an Arcana check.
Bam. Also, too literally. Wait, do I have any leftover advantage from last time?
Scanning. You have some. You have some on the board from this session.
I have lucky dice.
You have lucky dice. Do you want to use lucky dice or your inspiration that you have on the board?
There's no point in not using the lucky dice. Fuck you, dude. 2 ones in a row.
Okay. With the lucky dice.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
All right. So you've crafted the thing, but it like sputters in and out of control. It's one of those things where you have to like align it just right and hold it up to get the signal, and then it's like, okay, it's great. Take the picture. Don't move. Okay. It's super intermittent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It gets bad cell reception.
And do you want to come up with what your parents send you, or do you want me to come up with something?
I'd like you to. I'm not too imaginative when it comes to outfits.
Okay. So the vibe that you gave them was Archmage, right? Your formal Archmage energy. Little Archmage Athalor.
Shad magic.
So what you have is it's not like IOTH, his robes, they're very long on the sides. That sort of thing where you spread your hands out and it spreads all the way out, right? Almost like a rippling fan. These are fitted precisely to your specifications. So they are, it's a formed robe, very neat, very crisp lines with a trim of silver inlaid with an emerald thread, forming arcane runes that are speaking to, in elvish runes that are speaking to your heritage, the glories of the Gyre, the glories of your homeland, just those sort of tales. So it's a silver trim with green, bright, like visible. It's a forest green, but it's thick enough to be visible along the way. And that's the trim on the side. Like I said, it is fitted. There is a tabard over the top that is, again, this silver fabric with it's a silver fabric with a green strip down the middle with larger runes emblazoned on it in silver. And it has an armor, pieces of silver pauldron on one side. And that silver actually runs down. So it's like you're wearing one arm of armor. But we're
anime now, boys.
It's very, very, and it goes all the way down to the gauntlets, but it's all very fine, very light metal.
Nice.
And it glimmers. And there's also a cape. And it's one of those like thin capes that sort of just go straight from your shoulders down.
Ooh.
We like the capes. We are definitely a non-Edna mode family. We like the cape.
Garnet, do you know what you're wearing?
Yeah, kind of. I
All
had to
right,
describe it. Ballpark it. In terms of probably going to be a mostly black dress, black lace, not like sexy. It doesn't start coming off sexy. It's more like classy, sophisticated, and the green accents coming from probably the shoes and the earrings.
Okay.
And then kind of maybe he's going to go visit Arianna to check on the obsidian piece. And yeah.
Okay. Black dress with lace, classy, elegant, green shoes, green earrings. Arianna, how's this headpiece looking? What sort of design do you have in mind?
Well, now that she has a good idea about what Garnet is actually going to be wearing. She's like, oh, the obsidian is perfect. She's got these really beautiful green quartz that she actually wrote home for. She wrote home for a couple of things. She wrote home to see if she could get any sort of materials to be able to make this headpiece for Garnet. She was also writing home to see if they could send her like a rough draft of a dress that she could kind of spruce up herself. Like she has an idea of what she wants it to look like, but she has to add the finishing touches. And then she also just wrote home to also say thank you and check in and all that kind of stuff. But the headpiece, because Garnet has blonde hair, she was thinking silver might like spark a little bit more. The gold would like blend in a lot, so it's going to be silver. It's going to be very delicate silver. And she's cut up the obsidian really, really tiny and also polished it like with super sharp kind of edges that would fit really nicely into the frame, and then also just be like super sparkly. She's got
Yay.
some green quartz, some white quartz, and also for a little pop of color, she's got some red quartz kind of in the bottom of the headpiece so that it like separates the coloration a little bit. But yeah, it's cute. It's like it's a little tiara.
Aw. I love it.
Awesome.
Arianna grades +1. That's a couple study sessions at least.
And do you have a rough approximation for what kind of dress you're asking them for?
Yep.
All right.
So she wants something a little bit traditional, but also with like a little bit Alfar traditional from where she's from, but also with a little bit of her own twist on it. So she's asked them for this beautiful kind of like long sleeved chiffon style dress that is some sort of green.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe the green that I'm looking at.
Link for green.
You've written like in with your quill and your pen, please send green fabric with this hex code.
Yeah, basically. And she probably uses some type of plant that's like if in the region or something to be like, this color green, this one. With a couple of maybe some like gold accents kind of woven into like very light gold accents woven into like the sleeves and a little bit of the bottom of the dress, but she wants the bodice to actually be blank enough and with a couple of like places she could tie things onto to be able to put on real flowers and leaves on the actual like
Nice. Awesome.
Proto poison ivy.
No.
She never had 5 powers.
All right. Awesome. As the date approaches, the great hall, the dining hall where you're all sitting, just eating, hubbub, there's a buzz, people talking about, people giggling to each other, people nose deep in their homework as time goes on. And the blast of a great horn resounds through the hall. And one by one, the torches that give off no heat along the wall turn green. Poof, 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 poof.
Ooh.
And the door swings open. And candelabras lit with green flame on their candles float as if carried by an unseen invisible servant down. Everybody at this point has shut up and they are looking left and right to see what is going on.
Oh, wait.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be so embarrassing for her.
Oh my god.
And down at the end of the hall, standing in a cloud of green mist, wearing his finest formal robes and bearing a single green rose, is Kraius.
I think at this point, Athalor is laughing incredibly loudly.
And we'll find out what happens next time on Book of Dawn IOTH Academy. Thanks everyone for watching.